This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Well, hello. We're gonna talk about my journey with nicotine addiction. I made a video called How I Finally Quit Smoking and Vaping. I posted this on July 19th, 2023, almost 2 years ago. Wow, I didn't realize that. This video since then has had 166.8 thousand views and 22.1 thousand hours of watch time. A lot of people saw that video. I received so many comments. It really resonated with people. This video was flooded with comments of people sharing their stories with addiction and how difficult they found quitting smoking or vaping, or whatever it might be. I have been asked so many times since I made that video to give you guys an update video, how it's going since then. So what happened? Where am I now? Have I stuck to it? Did I relapse? Am I still smoking? Or did it really work? Because the title says, How I Finally Quit Smoking and Vaping. Sounds like I fixed it, it's done. Also, how would I really ever know, right? Because you only have the day you're in. So when I made that video, I was very proud of myself. I documented the whole entire journey, the ups, the downs, the many downs. And I think that's what people liked about it, was that you were able to see me messing up. And that is relatable. Instead of just getting a simple, this is what I did and it was pretty easy, I told you the truth, which is that I failed a lot. And that was a big part of how I quit, was by attempting, failing. It was tough. I won't beat around the bush. So what about now? Well, I'm gonna give it to you straight. I did really well for about a year and a half. And then once I moved out into my own place and started going out again and started going and partying again and just sort of dove back into the nightlife scene, I totally relapsed. It's interesting because that video that I did 2 years ago was about quitting vaping. So weirdly, and if you watched the video, you know, I listened to Carr's Easy Way to Quit Vaping. That was my number one recommendation. That is still my number one recommendation, because even in the relapse that I had, I could not bring myself to buy vapes per se. I think I bought one at a music festival because I was just like, I'm in my bad behavior zone. I'm gonna just lean right in. But really, what ended up happening is I turned back to drunken cigarettes. So the vaping deprogramming worked a bit, but I was still the really annoying person that would ask someone to hit their vape 1,000,000 times on a night out. So that crept back in, but I didn't want to own a vape because I already knew if I owned one, it would be a morning till night situation. So instead, I turned back to smoking, which is something I never did soberly. Weirdly, this time when I relapsed, I was smoking soberly a lot. And it lasted about 2 weeks. It starts with getting a pack when you're out and then having it the next day. And then I just did the thing I've never ever done, which is smoking continuously during the day. I don't know. It's never been of interest to me. It's never even been appealing to me. But for some reason, I was like, this is what I'm doing now. This is me now. It didn't feel good. I won't lie. So yeah, I'm not telling you this because I want you to relapse. I'm telling you this because it's the truth and because people have been asking me and I've been avoiding it. Now, where are we now? Well, after about a week and a half of my new smoking habit, which was gross, and I tried to hide it from everyone, and I'm sure they could kind of tell. Maybe, I don't know. It became very clear to me why I was doing it. There were things in my life I didn't want to think about, and having an active addiction that I despised myself for was giving me something else to think about. There were things that were bothering me in my life. There were things that were giving me anxiety. So I created a problem for myself to focus on instead, which is a wild move. But oddly to me, knowing myself makes sense to me. I was like, well, whatever's bad in your life isn't as bad as this thing you're doing where you're actively killing yourself. You know what I mean? You're actively doing the wrong thing over here. So what did I do? I was like, oh my God, I've lost control again. I totally have lost control. Because I know that because I would tell myself, all right, this is the last one, and then I'd throw the pack away, and then I'd get another one the next day. Again, this is a very small window, but it started over months of little slip-ups, 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 which brings me back to never have a drunken hit or any kind of nicotine, or soberly either. But like the second I took the first drag of a drunken cigarette after my 1.5 years of nothing, the second I knew I was gonna have another one. Because when you have one, you're already allowing yourself the idea that you can have another one because you've made it okay again. So, God, I wrote it off for a while and said, you deserve this right now. You're having a fun party summer. And then it took that really intense turn where I was smoking all the time. And I was like, oh, this is not cute. This is not good. This is actually really bad. So I decided to return to Alan Carr. This time though, instead of listening to The Easy Way to Quit Vaping, I listened to his original bestseller that sold like 40 million copies or something. I had never listened to that one, so I listened to it. The thing about Alan Carr that's wonderful in his books and his method is at the very beginning he says, don't stop now. Don't stop smoking or vaping or whatever you're doing until the end of the book. So you're much more likely to finish the book because he's not saying quit right now. He's saying quit in a bit, but first just carry on and I'm gonna help you basically rewire your brain. I'm gonna help you rewire your brain and we will figure it out together. But by the end of this book, you're gonna be a happy non-smoker. That's what he says. And the process here is that he breaks down all the ways that smoking actually is not as great as you think it is, if you think it's great. Like basically how you attach it to different parts of your routine. First thing in the morning, maybe with coffee, when you're out, having a night out with your friends, maybe after a meal or something. Really, he makes you look at it while you're smoking. He'll be like, look at the cigarette. Really look at it. Smell it. Look at how it burns. How does it actually feel to hold? What does it really taste like? Does it really smell good? Like, does it really feel good? And there was something he said in there too that I really liked, which was like the hit or the buzz you think you're getting, the first drag after a while, isn't like a buzz. It's like woozy. It's like dizziness. And so once he said that, I started paying attention way more to the whole process of smoking. And I was like, oh my God, this smells so gross. Like it tastes so gross. It looks disgusting. And I did start to feel the dizzy feeling. I was like, oh my God, he's right. There are a lot of other things he does as well. But basically by listening to him break it down and talk through how nicotine works and how it gets you hooked and how it basically tricks your brain into thinking you're doing the right thing, and that you're rewarding yourself and that you're actually gaining something from this, he exposes it to the truth, which is like, you're not gaining anything. You're spending a ton of money. You're jeopardizing your health actively. You're full of guilt and shame. And another thing he said that I love is he's like, do you really think there's a casual smoker that can just socially smoke? And do you really think you can be just someone who has a drag when you're out having some drinks? If so, why don't you do that now? And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, you're so right. You're so right. I totally can't. That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. It might exist in a movie, but it doesn't exist in real life. And it definitely doesn't exist for me. So I finished that book. There's a ritual at the end where you have your last cigarette. And honestly, by the time I got to the end of it, I did not want to smoke that. I really didn't want it. I was like, I don't want it. But I did it. And I actually didn't even finish it. I was like, you know what? This is not, I see through it now again. But it was so weird. It's like, okay, I did this with vaping. Now I'm doing this with smoking. I don't know. And I don't know if this will help you guys. I don't know if this will make you feel empowered. I hope it does, because I kind of pride myself on showing the mess of life in my videos in any way I can, especially when I'm making something personal and I'm making something that connects with people. I don't want to lie about it. I don't want to make it seem like this easy thing I did, because it's like, no, I fucked up. But I left this whole situation feeling like, okay, all right, we're good, we're back. We're back again, it's okay. And furthermore, since that, I have been around other people vaping. I have been around other people smoking. I have been out. I've been drunk. I've been there. I've been in those situations, and I've been fine. And I've been good. And I have actually not wanted to smoke again. And I haven't wanted to vape again either. Now, if I said I didn't have the thought of doing it, That would be a lie, because I have. If I see a vape, I'm gonna be like, those exist. I could hit that. Same thing with a drunken cigarette. I'm like, oh, right, people smoke. I would too. I used to as well. And then I simply plug back into thinking about how hopeless and helpless and awful that was for both of those situations. And I just had a recent reminder of how helpless and hopeless it feels, and how basically everyone who does either one of those things, who takes in nicotine in any form, pretty much every single person that does wishes they could stop and wishes they would stop. So yeah, this is what I came here to say. And I hope that if you're someone who watched my last video and felt inspired and was like, oh my God, it's possible to quit. Thank you for showing me this. I hope this doesn't dishearten you to that, because now I'm back. Now I'm back again. Now I've quit again. And when I made that video, I really did think that was the end of it. And I could have just left this alone and not told you and just gone back onto my healing journey of quitting. But I didn't think that would be authentic, and I didn't think that that would even really be that helpful, because maybe there are other people like me who also quit for a year and a half, or also quit for 2 years or 5 years, and then they found themselves back in it again, back in the trap again. And they're guilty about it, or they're shameful about it, or they think that that means it's not worth trying to quit again. My whole point is, yes, it absolutely is. It is absolutely worth quitting again. And no, you're not a weak person. And no, you're not a bad person. And yeah, you messed up. I did too. But what's important in life in general is that we come back to ourselves and we reflect and we think and we learn and we figure out what we really want. Do you really want to be someone who smokes? Do you really want to be someone who vapes? Do you really want to be someone who needs that and like always kind of wants it? No, not at all. I'm so much happier now. I feel it's actually blown my mind. You have to listen to this book or read this book. You have to. If you're struggling with this, you must. Just trust me. Because I thought it would be so hard, especially because I was smoking so much, even though it was a short period of time. It was so easy. I mean, it's called the easy way. It was so easy. I thought after the last time, I was like, okay, well, I'm never going to do that again. And now I know, hey, there's a chance you'll be in a kind of a weird point of life where you're going to be like, well, I'm already in a weird point, so I may as well like pick up this bad habit again. No. In fact, I think my chances of sticking to this are much stronger now that I've done it once, I fucked it up, and now I'm back. Because I'm like, it doesn't define you. Just take it a day at a time. Be patient with yourself and forgive yourself. Because if you get so caught up in the fact that you messed up or that you relapsed, you're never going to quit. You can't use that as an excuse. And now I can confidently tell you, and I really believe that if I ever was to take another hit of nicotine in any way, shape, or form, I already know it's going to lead to me doing it again. So I've already tested my theory, which was, oh, I can have one drag of a cigarette every once in a while when I'm out. No, I can't. Not unless I want to jump right back into that whole mess again. You know, we're learning, we're growing, we're changing, we're evolving. I'm proud of myself. I'm actually proud of myself for admitting this whole thing too, because I was pretty embarrassed about it and I felt a lot of shame around it. But I've forgiven myself because look at me now. Here I am again, yapping about it again, hoping that maybe it helps at least one person. Whether you've stuck to it and you're like, oh my God, okay, I didn't relapse, but now I've seen her do it and she felt like terrible and she's back again. Or you did relapse and you've been giving yourself the excuse of like, oh, I guess I just can never quit. You absolutely can. And you will. So here we are. We're here. We're human. We're doing our best. And I hope this was helpful. I can't think of anything else to say other than don't give up and just read this book. Just read the book. Listen to it, whatever you want to do. It's my best advice for you. Thanks for listening. Hope that you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a nice day. Thank you so much for being here. If you had a good time or you want to show some love, you can like, you can subscribe, you can comment, you can tell me if you've also had a similar experience so I feel a little bit better about myself. Or you can tell me how you did not relapse and how you persevered, because that also is inspiring. Now, before we go today, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform that helps you build your brand, showcase your work, and grow your business online. Whether you're a content creator, an entrepreneur, or someone who has a passion project that you're about to make into something huge and successful and awesome, Squarespace gives you everything you need to create a professional website, connect with your audience, and even get paid all in one place. Squarespace makes it super easy to showcase your expertise and engage clients with video content. You can upload and organize your videos, create beautiful video libraries, and even monetize your content by adding a paywall. This is perfect for online courses, exclusive tutorials, and premium workshops. If you're someone who offers services, consultations, or classes, Squarespace's Acuity scheduling will let clients book directly on your site. So you can accept payments, send automated reminders, and even sync everything to your calendar. That way you spend less time managing bookings and more time doing the thing it is that you're really good at. So if you've been meaning to create a website, take this as a sign. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to www.squarespace.com/MerleO'Neil and use code MerleO'Neil to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. You can also click the link in my description. Thank you so much, Squarespace. Let's get back to the video. I was hoping that this would be enlightening to some people, maybe if they've also struggled to stay on the straight and narrow. It's okay, and it doesn't define you, and you're gonna quit. So if you wanna quit, you're gonna quit, because I did. So here we go. We got this.